When you talk about the greatest of all time in football, one name rises above all others, and that name is Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice redefined what it meant to be a wide receiver. Jerry Rice shattered records that still stand decades later. But most importantly, Jerry Rice's work ethic was even more legendary than any of his stats. So I'm going to dive into the career and the character of Jerry Rice to find out why many consider him the undisputed GOAT of the NFL. Well, him, Jerry Rice, and Tom Brady are probably the undisputed GOATs of the NFL. But Jerry Rice wasn't born into NFL stardom, right? He grew up in Crawford, Mississippi, which is a very small town with a population of just a few hundred people. He didn't even play organized football until high school, and there's a story, true or not, don't know, but the story goes that one day the school principal caught him skipping class, and Jerry sprinted away so fast that the principal told the football coach, "You might want to take a look at this kid." And then, of course, Jerry Rice went to Mississippi Valley State University, a very tiny Division I AA school, and Rice just became an absolute nightmare for opposing defenses. He set NCAA records for receptions, yards, and touchdowns, earning the nickname World Rice, because basically the dude Jerry Rice could catch anything thrown anywhere near him, remotely close to him, he would catch it, which earned him the nickname World Rice. And so then in 1985, the San Francisco 49ers, fresh off 2 Super Bowl wins with Joe Montana, traded up to draft Rice with the 16th overall pick. But it wasn't all smooth sailing in his rookie year. He had some growing pains, right? Dropping some passes, adjusting to the speed of the NFL and the weight of sort of the expectations about being a 16th overall pick. Many rookies, and as we've seen over the history of the NFL, many rookies have crumbled. Jerry Rice absolutely did not. Instead, he doubled down on his training, refined his route running, and built even more chemistry with Joe Montana. So by his second year, he was already the league's best receiver, leading the NFL in receiving yards and touchdowns. The late 80s and early 90s were just pure dominance from Jerry Rice. Pure dominance from Jerry Rice. Rice became the centerpiece of the 49ers offense, even with Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Joe Montana and later Steve Young throwing the football, right? He had speed, he had hands, he had football IQ, but his greatest weapon, Jerry Rice's greatest weapon, precision. His route running was surgical. Defenders probably knew where he was going and still couldn't stop him. That's how good Jerry Rice was at his meticulous, precise route running. And so then in Super Bowl 23 in 1989, Jerry Rice caught 11 passes for 215 yards and a touchdown. That was an MVP performance. Super Bowl 24, another 148 yards and 3 touchdowns. And in Super Bowl 29, another 149 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's just absolutely magical what Jerry Rice was able to do. In total, Jerry Rice won 3 Super Bowls, was selected to 13 Pro Bowls, and named first team All-Pro 10 times. I mean, insane numbers by Jerry Rice. Let's talk even more numbers because the stats, look so good that they might belong in like a video game, right? He's got 1,549 receptions, most in NFL history, 22,895 receiving yards, most in NFL history, and 197 receiving touchdowns, most in NFL history, most, total touchdowns, most all-purpose yards, most 100-yard seasons, and the list goes on and on and on. Most of these records aren't just unbeaten, they're basically untouchable because Jerry played well into his 40s. Even in today's pass-happy NFL, no one's come close. Similar to a Tom Brady and a Jerry Rice, they both played into their 40s and were excellent for a very, very long time. Probably why they're the undisputed GOATs of the NFL. But what made Jerry Rice truly special wasn't just the talent. Just like Tom Brady, it was his relentless work ethic. While other players were in the gym, maybe doing whatever, Rice was running hills in the brutal Mississippi heat. He wasn't jogging, he was sprinting. He kept that up well into his 40s. His off-season workouts were infamous. Teammates would try and keep up, and most would quit halfway. Rice never stopped, which obviously made him the best there ever was at his position. He wasn't the fastest player in a straight line. He wasn't the biggest, but he trained his body and mind to win every matchup. That's what he did, trained his body and mind to win every matchup. He carried himself with humility. There was no trash talk. There's no drama from Jerry Rice, just production day in and day out, consistency. Even after leaving the 49ers, Rice played at a high level with the Raiders and the Seahawks, eventually retiring at age 42, still performing, better than most wide receivers who were half his age because they probably weren't working as hard and didn't have the precision, consistency, and discipline that Jerry Rice possessed throughout his whole football career, right? Jerry Rice's impact goes beyond stats and trophies. He's obviously inspired a generation of receivers from, Larry Fitzgerald to Devontae Adams to focus on the craft of route running and preparation. Tom Brady was huge into preparation as well. You can see the greats, the best of all time, are huge and focus on preparation. Because in 2010, Jerry Rice obviously was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The selection was unanimous, and his speech was just pure class. Rice credited his parents, his coaches, and his teammates, and reminded everyone that greatness comes from consistency and discipline, not shortcuts. I'm going to say that again. Rice reminded everyone that greatness, in no matter what domain you live in, comes from consistency and discipline, not shortcuts. Rice is more than just the GOAT wide receiver. Obviously, he is the GOAT wide receiver, but he's the gold standard for what's possible when talent meets relentless dedication. His story is proof is that you don't have to be the biggest, you don't have to be the fastest, but you have to be willing to outwork everyone. And you can leave a legacy that stands forever. That is Jerry Rice, the greatest to ever do it. And thank you for your time and attention. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please send this to someone who also might enjoy it, and I appreciate you very much. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.